Welcome to the PreSnap Podcast presented by LineStar. All things fantasy football with a sprinkle of sports betting. Alongside Tyler Weeman, I'm Shannon Somerville. Week 11 in the NFL is here. We're here with your Thursday night football preview. The Green Bay Packers hosting the Tennessee Titans. Two teams on opposite ends of the spectrum. The Titans started the season 0-2, then won 6 of their next 7 games. Meanwhile, the Packers started 3-1, lost 5 games in a row before finally snapping that losing streak against the Cowboys last week in overtime. What are your initial impressions of these two squads?
Turns out, even this day and age in football, you can run the ball and win.
Right?
Titans have proven it. It's working. I mean, not everybody can have Derrick Henry, but Titans got him.
The Titans got him. Meanwhile, the Packers, that's been one of the biggest surprises this season, has been how poorly Aaron Rodgers and this offense has played. We knew that there might be a little bit of a drop-off since Davante Adams was traded to the Raiders. It seems like he might have started to find something in Christian Watson. However, they're still just not where they need to be. What do you make of it?
It kind of surprises me that Rodgers hasn't sped up his rate of play a little bit with this team and these pieces on it, just because it's without Adams, like their efficiency goes way down. And that's what Rodgers has used his whole career. He's hyper efficient. He could get, the playmakers the ball when he needs to. And this season, they don't have playmakers. So it's just, made it way worse.
They did correct some of the mistakes, which, if you're a Packers fan, was encouraging to see against the Cowboys. However, many can argue that was a game the Cowboys should have won, and they essentially shot themselves in the foot. Typical Cowboys fashion, by the way.
Yeah, and we will absolutely be talking about Watson today. So
we will be talking about your daily fantasy projections. We've got your touchdown calls. If you're placing some anytime touchdown bets, we've got your prop bets and your game picks for today. But first things first, we got to start off with an injury report from SixScore.com because there are a ton of injuries. So I'm getting a little tongue-tied here because there are so many injuries, okay? Let's check it out. First, we've got the Green Bay defense going up against the Titans offense, and the Green Bay defense, SixScore 81.6. You got cornerback Eric Stokes on IR, remember. The linebackers are out for this one. Rashawn Gary out with a torn ACL, remember that. And now Devondre Campbell is out with a knee injury in this one. On the Titans offense, this could be problematic. Center Ben Jones is out with a concussion. Could be an interesting one there for that rushing offense that basically the Titans is predicated on there. Kicker Randy Bullock is out with a right calf injury as well. Let's flip it to the Titans defense. They are going to be without, remember, Harold Landry on the IR with a torn ACL. Linebacker Bud Dupree out with a hip injury. Another linebacker, Zach Cunningham, dealing with an elbow injury. And Lonnie Johnson, another defensive back, is also out in this game. Safety Amani Hooker will miss his 3rd consecutive game with a shoulder injury. So also, as I mentioned, the backup safety there, Lonnie Johnson, was ruled out with a hamstring. So that is very thin there for the Titans defense. On the Packers offense, they've got Romeo Doubs, the wide receiver, is out with an ankle injury. Left tackle David Bakhtiari is questionable. He has been dealing with a knee injury. And left guard Eldon Jenkins, questionable in this game. Anything that really jumps out to you as noteworthy for fantasy implications, or are these just kind of two as expected banged up teams week 11 halfway through the season?
I would say it's a little bit of both. One thing I would definitely kind of pay attention to is to the back end of that Titans defense.
Yeah.
We know their weakness on D is the passing defense. So obviously guys in the back end being hurt hurts that.
Sure, we'll talk about some Green Bay receivers that could exploit that. Let's get to our daily fantasy projections for Week 11 Thursday Night Football. Let's start things off with the Titans and quarterback Ryan Tannehill, who returned from ankle injury, 255 passing yards and 2 touchdowns against the Broncos. Going up against a Green Bay defense that's actually not too bad in terms of the passing defense. They rank 8th in pass defense DVOA. What do you make of Tannehill's position from a daily fantasy perspective?
Yeah, and not only they're 8th in DVOA, they're actually ranked 1st in allowing 180 passing yards per game. So the DVOA shows that they're a little bit worse than what their ranking is. But regardless, it's a good pass defense. Tannehill is a serviceable quarterback in the NFL, but he lacks upside. He definitely doesn't have Aaron Rodgers types upside. He does, however, have a similar floor. But this Packers D is good, so I don't love Tannehill in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they were winning without him, though. There's a lot of people who...
Yeah, but with him, it makes them much more dangerous of an offense because they can throw. They couldn't do it with Willis.
Well, really, when you talk about the Titans offense, all things go through their running back, Derrick Henry, who's averaging 102.6 rushing yards per game. That is second best in the NFL, behind only Saquon Barkley right now. He's just having another unbelievable season. He had 53 rush yards last week, which was a low output for him, but that was against a Denver Broncos defense that is very stout. Meanwhile, he's going to be facing a Green Bay defense that ranks 30th in rush defense DVOA. Is he going to carve up this Green Bay defense like a turkey?
He absolutely is. I love seeing like these spots where it's the strength of the Titans offense is running the ball. The weakness of the defense for the Packers is their run D. So I'd expect a huge workload for Henry here. He's absolutely a thought for captain. He's probably going to be pretty high owned in that spot. But, I mean, the entire offense runs through him. So I like it.
Thanksgiving's coming early for the King Henry. Tony Pollard had 115 yards.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys the week before absolutely dominated them. So buckle up for a performance from Derrick Henry. How about wide receiver Treylon Burks? First game back off the IR, 6 targets, 3 catches, 24 yards. What is encouraging about this is that he did run as many routes as Nick Westbrook in his first game back. What do you think about this play from a fantasy perspective?
So I like this play, and I assume he's going to quickly take that WR1 role back here. He only had 56% of the snaps like you talked about here, but I think that number is going to go up between Westbrook, Akine, Woods, and Burks. I would expect them all to have similar snap share. The thing that's interesting here, though, is Burks still was targeted at 17% of his snaps when he was on the field. Nobody else on the team was that high. He led right there. Westbrook, Akine did have 8 targets, but he was on the field way more. So I like Burks, and if there is upside in the passing game, it's going to be him.
Gotta love an SEC receiver right there. Arkansas Razorbacks. All right, how about some sleeper picks for us on the Titans? Who you got?
I like Austin Hooper. I think he could definitely get in the end zone. The Titans D, maybe?
Yeah.
You know, the Packers offense has been weak. It did show some signs of life last week with Watson. Could be fool's gold, though, so we don't really know here. And then Titans kicker here. All
right. Let's get to the Green Bay Packers, and we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers and if he is, in fact, a good play for daily fantasy. Well, he racked up 224 passing yards and 3 touchdowns last week against the Cowboys, snapping a 5-game losing streak. Averaging just 231.5 yards per game, that ranks 19th in the NFL right now, and he just ranks 25th in QBR, going up against a Tennessee defense that is top 10 in DVOA. What do you see for Rodgers?
Yeah, he's been having a rough year. Yeah. Maybe you should have done some more ayahuasca this offseason.
The ayahuasca ain't working no more.
But the Tennessee pass D is extremely beatable. Ranked 32nd, allowing 294.4 passing yards per game. And Tennessee allows 57% more fantasy points to QBs when they are away. Okay. So I like this spot for Rodgers. I think this is a beatable matchup. And as we've seen in good matchups, Rodgers, obviously his passing yards are coming up. I think he can get multiple touchdowns. He's actually hit 2 touchdowns or more in most games this season. So I like his outlook for this game.
I don't know what to make of the next outlook for our running back, Aaron Jones. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. Last week he had 138 rushing yards, However, this is kind of the pattern. The week before, he had just 25 yards against the Lions. The week before that, he had 143 against the Buffalo Bills, who have a great defense. So it's kind of hard to understand what to make of it. A lot of that can be correlated to just how many attempts he's even getting. What do you make of his spot for tonight, knowing that he's going up against the Tennessee Titans defense? Their rush defense, DVOA, ranks first.
That was my first note on him today, is when they commit to the run with him, he's crushing. He's absolutely doing great. But I don't think this is going to be a week that they commit to the run. Frankly, it's like, why go against the toughest part of the defense when you can try and pick apart, the weak side when you have Aaron Rodgers kind of leading them. So I don't love it. However, there is a path to fantasy success with him because he can catch the ball.
Right.
So there is a path that he can still do well. Tennessee is ranked second in rushing, allowing 0.1 rush TD per game, and then only 66 yards. So I'm not a huge fan of Jones, but there is a path just through his receiving work.
Well, let's talk about our receivers here. And first, we're going to be talking about Allen Lazard, who is averaging 59 receiving yards per game. He's had a touchdown in 5 of 8, which that has to intrigue you from a daily fantasy perspective. Going up against a Tennessee pass defense, ranks 13th in DVOA. So not bad there, but if there is a weak part, like you mentioned, it is that passing defense. What do you anticipate for Lazard in this one?
Yeah, this passing D is absolutely beatable. They rank 30th, allowing 1.2 receiving touchdowns to the wide receiver over the last 9 and 189 receiving yards. So the receivers in this game are in a great spot. Lazard, he has been the most trusted part of this offense all season. He has targeted a ton. I really do like him. He is a big body guy. He could definitely get a couple touchdowns.
How about the rookie wide receiver that basically had the entire NFL's attention on Sunday against the Cowboys? He had 4 receptions for 107 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tyler, was this a one-game wonder, or is Watson here to stay?
I think Watson is here to stay. So there's been 2 weeks in the entire season that he has had over 60% of the snaps. This last week, he had over 85%. And then the first week of the season, he had 66%. If you guys remember in that first week, he got open deep. We could be talking about him way different. He just dropped one. It was a terrible drop. And then, he got hurt and he's kind of been banged up through the rest of the season. He got his chance again and he really made it happen. This guy is 6'4". He runs a 4.36 40. He's big. He's fast. The thing that Allen Lazard has been really good with is he is a big body receiver. But Watson is bigger and faster. So I think he's here to stay. I think they're going to have to work him into this offense more, and he's going to be a great weapon for Rodgers down the stretch. Now, for DFS this week, I would say you need to watch ownership here. If ownership on him gets crazy, maybe then fade it thinking, it could be a little bit more of an explosion and not really what he's going to do. If ownership's not there, I'd be hammering it.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like a 3-touchdown performance to boost your confidence.
Absolutely. Not only that is, another little trusted Line Star stat is that Tennessee allows 47% more fantasy points to taller wide receivers.
Got to have that height.
So
something I know nothing of.
Tennessee,
unfortunately.
Yeah, Tennessee gets beat from those big guys. And they also allow more fantasy points when away. So.
All right. Yeah, this one's going to be a cold one at Lambeau Field. 26 degrees, I think I saw, and it will go down to the 20s, which is quite cold.
I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot to mention that in the Derrick Henry spot. Who wants to tackle him when it's that cold? And as you can see, if you go through his numbers, yards per rush, he always is way better in November and December. He's better in those colder months, and he's
like one of when you're making snowballs and like you're just have that giant snowball just rolling, gathering, just like that's him.
It is him, yes. And,
oh man!
I mean, nobody wants to, put their body on the line to stop that when they're freezing.
Who None of that. Do we have any sleepers for the Packers?
We do. We can go Tanyan, Sammy Watkins. I think both of them have, a pretty good path. And like we said with Watson, it could be a flash in the pan. If it is, Watkins is going to be there. He's going to get some targets. Rodgers is starting to trust him more.
Tyler, Tanyan is dead to me after going just 1 yard shy of his over prop that we had him in our prop bets of the day. So you know what?
It hurts. It happens sometimes.
It does happen, but we can go back to him, I guess, for daily fantasy purposes. Not prop betting. We're not betting the over on that one, so we'll let it slide. How about a captain MVP spot?
Obviously, watch that ownership on Watson, but I like him for captain MVP. You can go Lazard here, and then Derrick Henry.
All right. Derrick Henry. So hyped for that. That is, in fact, why I bought us a crown at Party City. Just so we can talk so we can wear a crown when we talk. Would you like to wear it? You can if you want. Kind of looks like a Burger King crown, but
hey.
I meant to get it as our prop bet. So if you're, the prop king of the week or something.
I like it.
Have to get that going. Okay. For all of our daily fantasy information, make sure to check out linestarapp.com. It's where we get all of our analysis, analytics, our projections. And if you don't feel like doing the analysis yourself, we just have a lineup optimizer. Just plug it in and there you go. You're all set. Make sure to check it out, linestarapp.com. Now it is time for our touchdown calls of the game. Tyler, who are you going with for an anytime touchdown in Thursday Night Football? Packers, Titans, who you got?
I am going with Christian Watson. Talked about him a little bit. I really like this guy. He is bigger than Allen Lazard. He's faster than Allen Lazard. And I think Rodgers will trust him after that last week. He's going to get in the end zone again this week.
I can't possibly choose anyone other than King. Okay, you know what? We're just taking the crown.
Yep.
King Henry will find the end zone in this one. He has had a touchdown in 6 of 9 games this year. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year and going up against a Green Bay rush defense that ranks 30th in DVOA. He is an absolute bowling ball that will turn Lambeau Field into his personal bowling alley.
All right.
I have a crown on my head, and I'm saying King Henry will have a touchdown. What's
funny is because you beat me to him for the touchdown
Oh, I know. I wrote that in yesterday.
Yeah. I almost took his prop just to be like, well, at least I got something. But I found a different one, so.
Don't worry. I might have a prop, too, so I'll just leave this on my head.
I figured you would. That's why I was going to steal it from you, but,
letting me get the crown. I appreciate that. All right, let's get to those prop bets. Where are you headed for a prop bet?
We're going to go Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 passing touchdowns. He's been over this in 70% of the games. Tennessee ranks 27th, allowing 1.8 passing touchdowns per game. And Rodgers got a fancy new toy.
Sure did. Christian Watson.
Yep.
Well, I've got a Sherlock tier Watson, and his name is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, King Henry, going over 99.5 rush yards, minus 131. He's averaging 102.6 rush yards per game. That is second in the NFL behind only Saquon Barkley. He's gotten this number in 5 of the last 6 games. Green Bay's rush defense ranks 30th in DVOA. He is going to absolutely crush this Green Bay Packers team. Carve him up like a turkey right before Thanksgiving week. Man, they are just not going to be able to stop King Henry, especially given the temperatures at Lambeau Field. Yeah. Like you mentioned, who wants to tackle King Henry when he's on a roll in 20-degree weather?
Let him get a little, head of steam and then be forced to tackle him. No,
there you
thanks.
go. Give him the crown. King Henry, 99.5 rushing yards. Take the over. Next up, do I need I'll just keep my crown. I'm just going to keep it on for the remainder of the show.
I mean, I think I know where you're picking, so you might as well.
Might as well. Game picks for this one. The Titans are +3 in this one. So Packers get the home field advantage in this one. Who are you going with?
I'm going Packers. I think they pull it out, and I think 41 is way too low.
Okay.
So we're going over there, too.
I am taking the Titans to cover that +3. I just cannot get off this King Henry train right now. I've got a crown on my head, so I've got to pick the Titans, right? Well, their only loss they've let's see, they've won 6 of their last 7 games. Their only loss came by 3 points at Arrowhead against the Chiefs. They've been playing unbelievably, not getting the credit they should. Yes, they started the season 0-2, but they've been playing great. They're going to win the AFC South. They're just playing awesome right now. And Derrick Henry is all you need to know about the offense. As far as the defense, their rush defense is incredible. It ranks first in DVOA. When do the Packers win? When they can run the ball. 3 out of their 4 wins this season came when they ran for over 200 yards, and the Titans will absolutely be able to shut down the run. The question is, will Aaron Rodgers be able to step up to the challenge in this one?
Yeah, I think he will, with Watson emerging and as a trusted option. Lazard's going to be playing. That's another trusted option. I think Rodgers finally has some places to go with the ball. And
I do not.
I know you don't.
We'll have to make a side bet for this one.
I like it.
As far as the game total, I'm opposite of you on this one too. You're taking the over. I'm also taking the under at 41. Okay, You're talking about the Tennessee Titans, who rank dead last. They are the slowest team in terms of seconds per play. Green Bay this season, they're the third slowest team. You got 2 slow teams in a very cold game. I just 41 is a low number.
That's super low.
We're going under.
Yeah.
And I'm the queen of the overs, usually.
You are. You are allergic.
So I'm going against my nature here.
Allergic to unders.
It might be something in the crown that's just making me crazy today. Okay. Going off the rails
today. So many jokes I want to say to that comment.
Okay.
I'll keep them to myself, though.
All right, that's going to do it for our Thursday night preview. Remember our prop bets, too. Make sure to lock them in on Underdog Fantasy and PrizePicks. I'm going to take this off because I feel ridiculous. Put this back on the shelf. Make sure to check out LineStarApp.com for all the analytics you need to dominate in fantasy. Anything else we got to tease? Oh, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and sign up for notifications.
Yeah, definitely sign up and subscribe.
Got to sign up, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know. What do you think of the crown? Do we like the crown? Does it look too much like Burger King? Do we need to get rid of it? Do we need to keep it? Let us know in the comments.
We need an elf on the shelf to just
elf
keep
on
a
the
watch
shelf.
on you.
We gotta get one of those.
Gotta keep it watching you. All right.
All right, that's gonna do it. Good luck at all your daily fantasy and prop bets. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.